Yeah, I'm ready. I'll be nice and short. It's our least favorite time of the year, budget season for the county. So we're working hard at doing that. Still working on the ATV trail, which I'd like to commend Windber for passing ATVs in the borough there. I think they're going to be very glad that they've done it. Broadband, I mean, it's a broken record. We're going through the same stuff. Just things are going fine. We're doing well. We had enough money stashed away to handle a lot of the problems that a lot of the other counties are dealing with as far as the budget situation goes. Things are running well. Irv and I are into our second year. Pam has put up with us that long, so we're learning a lot and trying to make things better. And with as always, everything's for the county, make the county better.
Any movement on funding for new 219?
Well, it's funny. We just met with Bill Schuster today, speaking with that, and with the federal government being shut down, there's not a whole lot of movement down there. Right now, we're looking to get together and coordinate a meeting with the federal representatives and see how that goes, and try to get everybody pulling in the same direction. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Not a whole lot of movement. But great seeing everybody here. As always, thank you for the invitation, and what a wonderful meal. I thought I was pacing myself, but apparently I wasn't.
Curtis, what about the trail? Is that...
The bike trail is back open. The mud side's been cleared up, and it's business as usual with the bicycle.
I think after this dinner we all should do this.
Yeah. I should probably jog the road. Sorry, go ahead.
Brian touched on a lot of topics. The only additional one I would add is we are in the process of constructing a new magistrate's office in Somerset Borough for that district. As you know, or probably maybe remember, a couple years ago we had that cold snap during the New Year's holiday. We had a broken pipe, and the Union Street School, which is a historic building, actually had a lot of damage. So our magistrate's office is operating where it is right now. We're just getting underway. We had bids opened, and we awarded them, and we'll get underway on that project. Brian covered everything else. Yeah.
Sheriff, would you like to say a few words?
The icy hot hole's on here in about an hour. I just for your
icy hot bowl.
there was something coming across the email or text or something today, something from the associate. Just remember, if you're, for law enforcement with police and sheriffs, because obviously the one just happened in York. I think they said there's 14 police officers shot this year in the state of Pennsylvania. And that's like a record. So I just, you hate to say if, it's probably going to be when sooner it's going to happen around here. It was just in York just the other week, so 2 hours away. So the world's changing and we all see it. That's all I have.
District Attorney, are you still down there?
Yeah, she's
Down here, yeah, way down here. I'm trying to think what the update you all on since your last meeting, it's like June. Since then, we would have gotten our death penalty conviction for the homicide of Sergeant Baserman and DOC. That was a huge success for our office. The detectives have been very busy. We have 3 detectives right now. There's a 4th open spot if you know of anybody, Mayor. Do you know of anyone?
You already took the best.
I'm kidding.
No, I'm kidding.
He gets very upset about that, but yeah. So we have a 4th opening, but the guys have been very busy with the task force that you guys have officers on, so we always appreciate that. I know that there's been a couple of big investigations that we haven't really been promoting a lot of it or like releasing it, so I would foresee that coming to fruition, probably a release the end of the next month, I guess, or this month, sorry. So that's exciting. And then lastly, my update would be we joined a 287G partnership with ICE, so with the ICE administration. So with that, how we ended up here is we saw a lot of cases where we kind of have, we have the turnpike, and then we also have 219. So we had a couple cases where we'd have large retail thefts. One that really comes to mind was a case with Walmart where 4 individuals entered Walmart, took 2 cars worth of stuff, left the store in such a hurry that they loaded it into the U-Haul and then just started towards the turnpike. So in that case, it was 4 individuals. Several of them had ICE warrants, and things happened so fast because it was under a felony that it was hard to even catch them, to prosecute them, to get restitution back for Walmart. So we joined this partnership in order to really better educate the detectives so that we know how to catch this, how to better prosecute this, and then who to call supervisor-wise. So that's been really exciting. We just got our notification that our credentials are coming in the mail this week. So thank you guys for having me here, and thank you guys for taking care of our communities, because it takes all of us working together. Thank you.
Fred Arford commentaries here, don't want to do
Yes, he is.
The snitched on you.
I just want to let everybody know that I have received some reports. The meal is excellent. I thank you for inviting me. My office is finally fully staffed. I have 6 full-time girls, and we're very busy with the public. A lot of pro se people, no attorneys coming in to help them, so we're doing our best to guide them through the system without giving any legal advice. But, yeah, my office is pretty busy. A fun office too. We try to have a good time also. So anyway, thank you again for inviting me.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
Now the introductions of the different boroughs. So Berlin here.
We need to flip this. Windber needs to go first next time.
We're the guest.
That's all right. I'm here tonight with my husband Brett, Councilman Mike Vogel, and his wife Jeannie. Right now we only have 1 full-time position for the police officer. We're struggling to get another full-time officer, so we did pass at the last meeting. We're opening it up for multiple part-time. Officer Gonzalez has found 3 so far that has offered to come in and start helping the part-time officers. Sidewalk project from Main Street from Vine to Cumberland. We are actually in the starting phases of the surveying, and we're going to try to get that bidded out beginning of 27 to finish that side. We're applying for a grant right now. We're working with Steve to do Broadway Street, coming in from Somerset and exiting out towards Garrett. We have a bunch of activities going on here within the next 2 to 3 months. We have a toy show this Saturday. Saturday the 25th at the Borough Building. There's a toy train show. The Halloween parade, which the Berlin VFW and American Legion sponsor. That is on Thursday, October 30th from 6 to 8. There's a farm, truck, and construction toy show on Saturday, November 1st at the Borough Building. The fire department's having a meat raffle Saturday, November 8th at 6:30. No tickets are needed. Just go to the fire department. And our light up night is November 28th at 7 o'clock in Santa at 7:30 at the Borough Building. All we got going on right now.
Thank you. Well, that's well.
Hi, I'm Miranda Rizak. Tonight we have our mayor, Matt Ash, and our secretary, Goldie, and her husband, Conrad. So we have a lot of representation here. We just have a lot going on in Boswell. We have 3 different grant projects starting right now. We finished up 2 streets, they're paving, so it's nice to see that. The Redevelopment Authority helped us out getting a abandoned house building torn down, and we have another one hopefully, to come soon, and many more to add to the list. We have a fall festival November 1st. We have Light Up Night December 7th. Am I missing anything? Yeah, chili cook-off is part of the fall fest, but yeah, so we're busy.
As far as the blighted projects,
Yeah.
what is your process for identifying those? Do you let the citizens tell you what needs done, or do you guys?
So they're pretty obvious. Most of ours, if they're on the list, it's because they are a hazard of falling into another property. The residents make it very clear which they'd like to take down. In order of priority, we kind of go through which is the most achievable, the fastest. So the one that the one is actually located right across from our borough office. It was relevant to us because we want it for the block party. We want to be able to put picnic tables there, gazebo, much like Myersdale did in the city center. So that was a priority for us because it's the most beneficial to us at this time. However, there is one right on Main Street that it just collapsed the other day. So we're like one good windstorm from it going into the street. But I mean, yeah, we try to prioritize them by which is the most hazardous, which is going to be an issue. But we were able to, the one across from the office, it went into sheriff's sale, so we could easily purchase it ourselves and start that process. But there's definitely plenty of them to choose from.
Thank you. Hootersville, over here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken Karaszowski, President of Hooversville Borough Council. With me tonight is my beautiful and wonderful wife, Brenda, a former councilperson of 30 years on Borough Council. Also tonight, I have our Mayor, Rick Hawes, Vice President Jesse Bonkowski, Council Member Gail Babylonis, our Secretary Treasurer Jennifer Robertson. One of our other council people is DeShante Garlitz, and his mom, Wanda. So there's nobody left in Hooversville. Yeah, we have to be careful that we have a quorum. This meeting was advertised, right? Okay. A few things going on in Hooversville. Phase 2 of our water project will begin November 3rd. The $1.8 million grant was funded through CDBG construction project. The construction was awarded to TerraWorks of Clarion. Kukrin Construction, who was responsible for phase 1, they were in town today to take care of a host of issues of that phase. This is a year after the project ended. So we were not very happy with Kukrin Construction. We've hired a new part-time police officer, Michael Wilson. He's currently working full-time with Indian Lake Borough. Earlier this year, we purchased a new dump truck. That was to replace a 2006 model dump. We once again will have roller skating at our community center. It will resume October 25th, and those are Saturday nights from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Trick or treat on Sunday, October 26th. We normally have a party at our community center, and then they go out and disperse out into the borough for trick or treat from 2 to 4. We're making some headway in repurposing a former cafe and gas station to become our new borough offices. The fuel tanks there to be removed in about 2 weeks. So we're making progress on that. Yet another project, another water project, is the water project to supply water to Wilbur. Hooversville is hosting that. We will be supplying the water, and the people of Wilbur will become our water customers. The timeline on that, Try to shorten all of this. Permits should be taken care of by April 26th. Penvest Award should be announced July 26th. Advertised for bids in August. Open bids September. Execute contracts and close on Penvest loan by Thanksgiving 26th. Construction period to begin as early as December 26th. A 10 to 12 month period. And they expect construction to complete by the end of 2027. So, yes, I'd like to thank a number of people that are here. Carl, thank you for helping us out with just humongous list of things. Also, Pat's office, thank you. Steve and Patty from the Redevelopment Authority, they've been so wonderful to work with. We thank you so much. And a big thanks to our host borough tonight, Windber. I think they deserve a hand for the work they did. I'm sorry, I failed to mention our county commissioners. Thank you so much for your help too in all of what's going on in Hooversville Borough. Great help.
We're thrilled to see the growth of the Queen line and what it has generated.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I hope we can follow that through, get the Queen line up to Stoystown, Cantner after this, and Stoystown, perhaps. So, and Fred, the score is 0-0 on the Steeler game.
It already started.
Pardon me?
It started.
I know, it didn't start yet. That's Thank you.
I don't think Indian Lake here.
No Indian Lake.
How about Jennerstown?
Jennerstown.
Myersfield, I know she's here.
Hi, everybody. So in Myersdale, we're working on, we're gonna private pay for a family accessible restroom. We're excited about that. Our main community center doesn't have any ADA accessibility. We just submitted, the county is obviously doing the LSA grants countywide for us this go round from my understanding. And we submitted an intake form and information yesterday for new windows to finish off the front of our community center. We have a Halloween parade on 10/25 at 3 o'clock, followed by a trick or treat. Steve helped us get a house torn down that we worked for about 2 years to gain possession. Like other towns, we continue to struggle. We had a fire a few weeks ago, and another house almost catty-corner from the one we had torn down through the blighted property program. But again, taxes are paid up on this property, but absentee landlord won't respond to anything, so we're gonna have to go to court. So that's definitely an issue in our town. So a lot going on. Thank you to Carl, he's trying to get us some money reallocated for, we had a flooding event in May, and our debris field and our flood control is just full of sediment and trees and all kinds of stuff. We're worried about in the spring, we're gonna have even more floodings if we have a heavy rain. So we're working on trying to figure that out. Steve came to a meeting to talk through ADA and trying to get some money for some things. So we do appreciate all the support in Myers, okay?
Not pleasant, you can call yourself.
Yeah, we'll get back to Debbie.
Oh, okay, I can handle
Yeah,
that.
just get it rolling. I'll try to make it short and sweet because I gotta introduce Mrs. Rigola here in a few minutes. Not too much going on in Mount Pleasant. I do want to thank Karen. We have our yearly 9/11 event, and she recommended Joel Landis, and that was you guys up here. That's a treasure. That's a good man, and he did a great job. And he's even lined up people for us in the future to make sure that we keep that tradition going. Mike spoke a few years back. He was great. So that's something that, a lot of people are passionate about. And Joel was excellent. Let's see here. We'll keep that going. And also, you mentioned parades in Mount Pleasant. We got our Halloween parade is on 10/29 at 7 p.m. Veterans Day on the 11th of November at 10:30 a.m. then we'll have our Christmas parade December 3rd at 6:30 p.m. And excuse me, I apologize. So we just had our Glass Festival a few weeks back. That'll be celebrating, I believe next year is the 40th anniversary. COVID kind of threw that off, however you're keeping score. But that's been going pretty strong. And we have a big get-together July 3rd while everyone else is doing July 4th. And I just the reason I brought these up is I wanted to put this out there. Our firework guy down our way, that everyone that goes to PSAB in Hershey, you've met Kimmel. And he was in town my way a few weeks back, and he's like, hey, you want to get together? He goes, I know it's budget season, I just want to give you a heads up. The fireworks show that you paid for at July 3rd at the Glass Festival, that you paid $6,000 for, which we had some help from sponsors for that. That with tariffs right now, they're starting to set in. That fireworks show is going to be about $11,000 next year. So, when you're budgeting, and here's the other thing too. Another thing that might be overlooked by some. The 4th of July next year falls on a Saturday, and it's also America 250. So there's going to be more fireworks. There's going to be a lot more activity, and that's just one example of something. So we gotta, that's stuff to when you're if you're still budgeting, keep that in mind. And I don't that's one other thing. We had the first business district authority in the state of Pennsylvania in Mount Pleasant, and within the last couple months, we've a few of us that are on that board, we voted to dissolve that. We're taking all the steps to do that. Now, authorities are great when they're run right and whatnot, but this business district authority, it was counterproductive. I almost had a major national, brand on Main Street in Mount Pleasant, and they backed out once they heard we had an authority. They said their home office told them stay out of towns that have those authorities because there's the additional tax. Plus, they want you, it's recommended in those situations that you're paying a solicitor, a lawyer, whichever extra, to review not just borough council minutes, but also those authority minutes. And you're looking at all kinds of extra bills. But they, and like I said, now that was the business district authority. I'm not talking about these other authorities. So, context there. But that'll help us out once that's out of the way. I think that's going to improve bringing some businesses into our town. And that's all I have for now. Thank you.
New center, Bill?
All right. Applause.
Shanksville?
There he is.
Way down here.
Good evening, friends. I'm Joe Black. I'm from Shanksville. I have my wife Gloria with me. We don't have much going on. We're doing veteran banners again for next year. We're in the process of forming a SOAR authority in Stony Creek Township over in the Stony Creek Lake SOAR thing. We had our community picnic in August. We did very, very well. Thank you for anyone that might have came down. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. You have anything from Somerset?
What's that?
Anything from Somerset?
Just that we are just as busy as everybody else in here. I'm Mario DiRenzo from Somerset Borough, representing Borough Council, that we are working on the sewage project, water project, stormwater. So as you know, that's a pretty big project. It's going on west of Somerset right now, which is the Briarwood area, my neighborhood in the west. And it'll just work through the many years that it will take. But I wanted to thank Mr. Metzger for all he does, and Pat Stefano, and the DA's office, and of course the commissioners, and of course our sheriff here as well. The mayor and I had the opportunity to go to Penn State. That was about 2 weekends ago, I guess it was. A lot of information was gained at that conference. If you ever get to go to the statewide conference, I urge you to go. It was a wealth of knowledge. I got a lot of information. If you ever need anything, call me. There's a lot of stuff going on across the state. We are under control. A lot of good people. A lot of bills are out there, as Mr. Metzger probably knows. A lot of important bills are coming down the pipe whenever the government gets back up on its feet. But pay attention. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. That's pretty much it for Somerset Borough. But thank you for all what you all do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since We heard his name a lot. Steve, you want to say a few words?
I guess. I guess I have to. I don't know. I thought with the last two demos, Boswell and Myersdale, I thought we were done with blighted properties. So I don't know what.
You ain't seen that yet.
No, unfortunately, there's plenty. And obviously, I want to thank the commissioners because that is the county's Act 152 demo fund that funds a lot of the demos. Fortunately, we have that fund to access because the federal monies that we were using at one time, the red tape that's involved, it's just too much, and it's very nice to have a flexible, pot of money like that 152 demo funds to be able to do that. I spoke with you all a year ago, last summer, and for those of you that were there, it's very difficult to handle those properties. Just like Myersdale, you have one that taxes are current. When taxes are current, that makes it very difficult to try to do anything. But the jurisdictions, you in your own respective jurisdictions have the ability. It just depends on how far you want to take it, and it's very difficult. It can get very costly. I understand that, but if you have these properties, feel free to call the Redevelopment Authority office, contact us with those properties. We'll dig in, help you as best as possible to handle those. It's great to work in your communities, to hear all the things that, Hooversville, Boswell, Windber, Berlin, Garrett, we're doing a project in Garrett now too. So it's great to work in your communities. If you have projects, the best thing to do is just call our office, talk to me or Patty. We'd be more than happy to just kind of kick it around, see what you're trying to do, and be able to pursue some of the funding that's available. And with that said, the biggest question mark, it could be state money, but a lot of the core funding that we administer is federal money. Everybody now.
If I knew the name, I'd get in, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you. My birthday's on the 26th.
Yeah, I'm 2 months short of mine.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, right.
But the big question mark real quick is the federal money, the Community Development Block Grant, which is appropriated by Congress. As long as it's appropriated, there's money there. Fiscal year 26, obviously the federal government is on a shutdown as well, and there's a question mark whether or not that's going to get funded. Fortunately, Congress, both the House and the Senate, has money in their bills, but we've got a long way to go before that's approved. If that pot of money is not funded, that's going to be a big hit, especially to Somerset County. That's the core funding that the Redevelopment Authority uses, via the Somerset County Commissioners to be able to do these community development projects. So if you're talking to your federal legislators, Congress people, senators, let them know the importance of that community development block grant program, the CDBG program, and what it does for you and your communities, especially here in rural Somerset County. So we use it quite wisely, and we spread it out, and have done a lot of good projects. So,
Thanks.
Appreciate being here.
Thank you.
Anybody here from Windber?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you again for coming tonight. I'm glad you could all make it out to our great little town. I'm here with my wife Deb, our council president Rich, and his wife Tony.
Raise your hands.
And some things that are happening right now in Windber, and set to happen. Construction of the new Dollar General store has finally begun, and we've been waiting for, seems like forever already.
The last ones.
And thanks to the Redevelopment Authority and Steve and his staff, it's finally come to fruition, and construction started last week. There's a nice big hole there in the ground, so it's going to start taking shape. We are in the middle of a sewer project, well, actually in the beginning stages of sewer project. It's going to take several years, and we're going for the PennVest loan and everything that everybody else is going through, so we're continuing to plug away with that. The county commissioners have chosen Windber Borough as a location for their October 21st meeting. It'll be held in at 6 p.m. in the Borough Council chambers, so that's where they'll be. If you want to see them or talk to them, we'll be there. Our fire company is having its first ever turkey and pig raffle on November 13th. It's a newly formed Northern Fire Company. They're trying to get their feet on the ground financially, so any help anyone can give, we greatly appreciate that. Our police department is finally up to full strength, hopefully for a good while. The civil service testing and commission has helped a lot. Just keep our fingers crossed that it stays that way and somebody doesn't go to greener pastures, because it always seems to happen. And Borough Council this past week has just passed the ATV UTV ordinance, and hopefully it'll be a big help to local business. They're struggling right now, and any help is greatly appreciated for them. And the final thing, light up night for the downtown business area is being planned for November 28th. It'll be in the park in the center of town. If you've never seen the light up night, it's pretty nice. And they keep it lit for probably about 4 weeks. Every night it comes on with music. The whole Central Park there is lit up, along with that area of Graham Avenue, and it's really a nice thing. So if you get a chance to get out there, even if you can't make it on the 18th or the 28th, take a ride through before Christmas, and even a couple days after Christmas, and you'll get a real treat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rich, do you have anything?
There's one more thing I'd like to bring up, because I do want to watch part of the Steeler game. I introduced my wife, Carol. But next year when I introduce you to her, we have been married 50 years next year.
Yeah, congrats. Oh, you know what? I'm going to introduce him if you want to. Sure. Just keep it on me there. I'm going to grab my cheat sheet real quick. Just give me a second. All right. So I have the honor this evening of introducing our speaker. A lot of us down our way, it's Senator Regola, Mr. Regola. I always hear Bobby, but no, Senator Regola, Bobby. I first came across Mr. Regola back, you know what, it was maybe 2006 maybe. Senator Regola at the time, I was coaching junior football, and I'm just helping out. And I see we got this grant for $25,000 to redo our bleachers at the time. So, honestly, every time I was reading the paper, this man was getting somebody money for something. He always did his job. Now he's got a consulting firm, and it's been a blessing to Mount Pleasant. This man is worth his weight in gold times 10 as far as when it comes to, consulting for us. Just this past year alone, I'll just read. I could be here for probably over an hour if I started rattling off some of the, where he's consulted us and what we've gotten out of his consultation. And I'm going to try to keep it recent here. In 2022, I got us let's see here, the MSA Great Statewide Local Share Assessment Grant. We got a Ford dump truck out of that was $82,000. A new police interceptor that was $48,000. We got a Bobcat truck loader for our street department. Helped out we have Medic 10 in Mount Pleasant. That's strictly to the borough, but they in some neighboring communities. That there was $198,000. 2023 Frick Park, our hillside project, was $376,000. Mr. Regola consulted us on that, as well as our street sweeper, which was $217,000. So for that, just 2023 alone, that was just under $600,000. And then in 2024, the SLSA grant, they're still pending, but salt shed for our street department, $385,000. MS4 stream bank stabilization for our stormwater. It's almost $350,000 combined for that. like I said, this man, he's been a great asset to our community down in Mount Pleasant. I know you've worked with Pat Stefano and probably some people in this room that we haven't gone around to talking about. I no further ado, Robert Regola. Thank you, sir.
He called me Robert, now I'm in trouble.
Oh, Bobby.
Bobby, that's right. First of all, I'd like to thank you for the invite. I know I'm the only thing between the Steeler games. I'm going to try to be brief. I'd like to see part of it too. I drove 80 miles to get here, so I want to get back home. But really, what I wanted to touch base on was about the relationships and networking, how everybody works together. But as I'm listening to everybody's remarks here this evening, you guys and girls are doing that. You're working with your state rep. God bless him. I'm glad I'm not a senator anymore. Things used to be very, I wouldn't say peaceful, they'd be turbulent, but we would get things done. It didn't matter what side of the aisle you were on. I was the first elected Republican in 72 years as a senator. I was on an island by myself. 7 of 8 reps were Democrats, but we found ways to work together. I'm one of the few lobbyists that can actually walk into both chambers, offices, and they're willing to listen to me, but I use my relationships first. I was never one that tried to cause, I did a lot of high-profile things, but my main goal was infrastructure. By profession, I'm a graduate civil engineer from Penn State. I'm a professional land surveyor, and I still serve on a lot of different boards in Westmoreland County. The county commissioners trust me. They want me to be a voice. To be very honest, they know if I'm on a board, I can get back to them and inform them what's going on, what hurdles are being thrown up. So I'm very loyal that way. But with regards to what I was going to say, basically, you guys touched on a lot of it, but really, probably 12 years ago, I was asked to speak up at State College in front of the managers, and they actually came up with the title, "It's not about how you write the grant, it's ... And I'm thinking, well, where would we go with this? How do I accomplish what I'm doing? And really what it comes down to is what's available, your audience, how do you assess that audience, who's your advocate, and ultimately it develops your opportunity. So when we go to the availability, you know, there's, as you're talking about these different grants, the grants come out, the pie's so big. The goal is to try to get a piece of that pie. How can you position yourself to get a piece of that pie? That's where the audience comes in. So when I say the audience, you should really get a relationship with the state agencies, whether it's DCED, DCNR, DEP, PennDOT, because if there's issues with permitting, you have those contacts. If you're pursuing a grant, especially the DCED, DCNR, a lot of the local representatives are will advocate for you. They'll help elevate your application. So that's kind of your audience, but more important is all of you, the elected officials. How do you access a lot of supervisors, council people really don't have a relationship with their representative and senator. It's nice to reach out to them, go to their events, have that dialogue. When you're with them, explain to them, hey, you know, we're having these issues. Is there anything we can do? They're more than willing to help. They're very busy, but they have good staffs too. So, you know, don't hesitate to do that. And then really, I refer to myself as the cheerleader, the advocate. How can I find a way to bring everybody together? If we're in a meeting, if you're going off point, how do I politely interrupt you and get you back on point? But more importantly, how can I take your application, even if it's a C paper and someone has an A, how can I elevate it and get you an award versus that a paper, but it all comes down to the grassroots. Everybody has to work together. Many years ago, I played baseball for Penn State. I was a pretty good athlete, but we won as a team. It wasn't about superstars. You can't win if you want to be everything. You have to find ways to work together. You have to realize some days you have to be on the bench. Other days you have to be that starting pitcher. If you're a starting pitcher and you get to the World Series and they need you to be the relief pitcher, your head better be screwed on and be ready to throw that ball. So the next part of my remarks that I really wanted to talk about was the overall process. When I refer to the overall process, the first part of it is the vision. So really, that's the light bulb. Really, it's the elected officials, the county commissioners, etc. They in turn have their vision. They know what they want to accomplish. If you have someone like me working with you, I may say that's a great idea, or I may say, well, have you thought about this? But really, it's your municipality, it's your county. You're going to know it better than any lobbyist or advocate for you, but so you just have to share that information with them. Once you get that, it's about identifying the grant. And from what I'm hearing here, you guys pretty much know what grants are out there. You have a really good network, which is really good. A lot of areas I go into, they've never heard of grants. They don't apply for grants. What do you mean? How do we do this process? So once you know about the grant, what's available doesn't fit your vision. Writing the grant, we don't have to go into writing the grant, but really the key here is making sure you get the key points, making sure you share that information with the senators, the representatives, or whatever. Hey, am I on the right path? They're not going to write it for you, but they will give you pretty good direction with regards to if it's a good project or not such a good project. How do you gain the support? You're gaining the support by talking to the representative, the senator, the county, the commissioners, getting all the support letters, but more importantly, the local agencies, your DCNR director, if it's going to DCNR, to your DCD. If they buy into it, your likelihood of elevating that application goes way up. Setting up the key meetings, I touched on that. The advocate, if you have an advocate, it's my job to keep you on point. It's my job to set up key meetings. It's my job to be going in and out of Harrisburg or up to the county, sharing what we're doing, why it's the most important thing. When you're out and about at events like this or on the street, if you see a representative or senator, hey, what about this? When most people see me in Harrisburg, yeah, we know what you want, just buy us a drink or whatever. So, you have to be able to play that game. What a lot of people don't realize, though, is managing the award. It's one thing to get the award. It's another thing, you want to make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. Make sure you don't do something where you don't do it proper, especially if you're pursuing the old RCAP, the new RACB. There's strict rules and compliance. Things continue to get more and more difficult. My firm, I have an attorney full-time that handles my compliance part. But when we get into the RACBs or multimodal, I have someone on staff, that's all he does. He just handles the day-to-day stuff. I don't want to be sitting behind my desk worrying about the documents and that. But it's very important because these are reimbursements, and if you screw something up, I'm helping someone now that wasn't a client that did not use prevailing wages, and I got it through the Office of the Budget, but now we're dealing with labor and industry. I will get it to the finish line for them, but it's costing them a lot of months. Their project's been done and the money's just sitting there. If I can't accomplish that, all that money goes back. But actually, it doesn't go back. They never received it, so they're not going to get it. I try to be very quick. Any questions for me? I'm not here trying to solicit work or anything. I was just asked to kind of how the process works. It does work, but you really have to all play on the same team. Don't feel that any question is a stupid question, and really use your representative, use your senator. They can be very helpful. Thank you all. God bless you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
we like to present this jug of moonshine for your ride home.
Good, sugar.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's syrup.
That's perfect. I may need that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.